Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, it's a lot stickier right now, a lot more humid, I should say, and also warmer than it was yesterday, because everybody seemed to be in the 40s. The 50s. The dew points might have been in the 40s, but look at this. We've got temperatures right now at 67, and we're tracking some rain. 64 is the current temperature in Oak Ridge and 64 in Morristown, but that's not the big story. The big story is that we've had some rain move in to parts of the area, maybe even a rumble of thunder, and that's what we're beginning to see right now on the Ultimate Doppler radar. So let's get to it. Let's not waste any more time. You can see some showers between Harriman, Wartburg, and Clinton. We have some showers around Hardin Valley and Farragut, and also Maryville, and also some showers around Fentress County, all sliding into the picture, but they'll slide just quickly as out before midday. I suspect this will be one stage of the rain showers. This will be a prolonged period of rain because, as you'll see from the 7-day at the end of this live stream, that we have more opportunities for some downpours and rain right into early next week. So this will not be changing anytime soon. By the way, the Ultimate Doppler radar presented by Marco's Pizza, your local Marco's Pizza, shows a lot of shower activity now filling into parts of Blount County. We're looking over toward Happy Valley, over toward Wallen, where you see yellow would indicate some moderate rain, but there are some showers around Townsend, which will be home, by the way, of the Bigfoot, the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival in Townsend is this Saturday. A lot of exciting things there. But Hardin Valley, I mentioned Farragut, they're getting some moderate rain right along, say, right into Solway and over towards, say, Bluegrass. Also not far from Oak Ridge, getting some showers at this time. Further north and west toward Sunbright, toward Caryville, a couple of showers. A little downpour right now along Sunbright, along 27, so take note of that if you're there. But it's kind of moved in and out of the Crossville area just in the last few minutes, so keeping an eye on that rain situation. By the way, if you plan on making your lunch plans today, you might want to consider Marco's Pizza. The local Hardin Valley Farragut stores are also open with Maryville, Fountain City, Halls. They've got an Oak Ridge location and one on Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road. They are all about taking care and lifting up the community. That's one of their mission statements, but they're also a corporate sponsor of No Kid Hungry. Go to marcos.com to order your particular lunch or dinner tonight. By the way, the Pepperoni Magnifico is magnificent. You'll love that, and if you haven't tried for lunch, maybe a Pozzoli. These are very filling, very cool, little kind of like a wrap, like a calzone, but you've got all sorts of good things you can put inside as well. But they're now open in a local Marco's anywhere near you. By the way, the radar is showing this second wave that I'm referring this as two stages. First stage is round one. We got round two maybe back north and west of Huntsville. So some of the energy that's there is going to be sliding in and out of town, and most of it's going to be Knoxville points west. It's not going to necessarily affect Morristown and Newport in the same way that it will likely affect areas west of I-75. But all the nasty storms, and there are quite a few, moving across East Texas. It looks like they're under a flash flood warning across what looks like Montgomery County, Texas, and some really heavy rain moving across parts of southern Louisiana at this particular hour. Looking further north, more rain across Michigan and more showers around Winnipeg all the way up into Canada. And yes, that's still snow. We've had all the talk about tornadoes where you have to have a clash between cold and warm air. There's still a lot of cold air in parts of the Rockies, and they're still going to be continuing to watch some snow. I want to say good morning to you if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube. Give me a shout out. Love to say hi to you. Wanda says hello. She says, David, have a good weekend. Thank you for being here, and we're getting lots of stores here in Newport thanks to you coming here. Come again. Ed says, good morning. Have a great day and weekend. Fred says, good morning. He's got a mild 64. In Maryville. I would argue it's a little more humid. We're going to look at that. We're going to examine that here in a moment. By the way, yesterday we hit 85, but I thought you said we'd hit 87. It was 87 in Oak Ridge. There's a difference, sometimes a degree or two, between Knoxville and Oak Ridge. That was the case yesterday. So 85 officially, 87 Oak Ridge on your Thursday. The normal high is 76, normal low 53. We did hit 90 today. That's still the record high. But you got to go all the way back to Grover Cleveland's administration, the second time around. That is in 1894. That's a long time ago. Record low this morning is 37 from 1988. So I wanted to give you some perspective. But if you're on the call, let me know. I'm checking Facebook. I'm checking YouTube. If you have a comment, I'll do my best to magnify your particular voice. If you've got a weather report, I know a lot of folks who read it would probably be appreciative of that, especially how local it can be. By the way, visibility would suggest maybe a hint of fog in the Smokies, down about a mile or so in parts of the Smokies, and also a little gray area or two around Hancock County and maybe even towards, say, Tazewell into Claiborne County for some potential fog or low clouds. But the temperatures, yeah, this is part of the story. When you look at 64 in Oak Ridge and Morristown, we're currently 63 in Sevierville. Take into account the temperature. The gold standard, we like to call it. The dew point, it's the temperature at which water vapor condenses. And when it's in the 60s, it's a bad hair day. Oh, no. It's kind of where we're leading to now, because every morning I have for the next 7 days, we're going to start off in the 60s. So if you like it outside, if you feel like it's a little summer-like, Aldrich, I don't like it this sticky, you're not going to like what I'm about to show you. Because if you take a look at the humidity and the stuffy factor in green, you'll notice it kind of oozes in here through midday, maybe more humid at midday than it is now. So those dew points could continue to rise. And you'll see that even by 5 o'clock today, with the humidity, with the showers, with the storms, it's not going to necessarily feel as comfortable as it has in days past. The drier air has moved away, but it stays nice and green as the green ooze pours in here on Sunday as well. So you're going to have a weekend that's actually a little more humid, maybe more comfortable for some, especially those that are longing for summer days. The humidity factor will be a factor, potentially going through the next 7 days for those that aren't fans of it. We're just going to have to deal with it. It's 69 right now here at 6:46 in the morning in Nashville. Nashville 69, Memphis 68, and there's 67 in Chattanooga here on a Friday morning. It's the 3rd of May. Where did the time go? You're going, yeah, it's kind of weird. But if you want some cooler air, they're at 56 in Asheville. On the other side of the mountains, you'll find there some cooler air. Winds are moving 7 miles an hour at McGee-Tyson Airport. It's less other places. I suspect winds today will be about 5 to 10. Variable most of the time, and sometimes more prevailing in from the south. But as far as the clouds, we have plenty of those. Don't see much change there. And if we look at the radar and satellite image put together, you can see that there's one rain shower or two coming in with round one, but there'll be more opportunities for another round coming in this afternoon. I got a note from Felicia. She's always giving me good updates. She says, "Good morning, David. Heading on a field trip today to Norris." I love Norris. Norris is fun. She says, for a sheep shearing day, and then the Bigfoot Festival in Townsend tomorrow. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Felicia. She's one of my premium members and also very crafty as she is, because I've seen her booths and some of her artwork and great crafts. She's somebody you might want to check out if you are going to be in Townsend tomorrow. By the way, the sun's up this morning. Well, it came up 6 minutes ago. Won't see much of it today. Won't see much of the sunset today. We'll think of this as a mostly cloudy, if not partly sunny day from time to time. Sun sets, though, at 8:25. Bus stop forecast, kind of sloppy with those rain showers on the move. Might be a little heavier to the west of Knox County. Knox County points west will be where most of the forcing is, but there will be fewer showers, I suspect, if you're in places like Morristown or, say, Russellville. Speaking of temperatures, look at my expected highs. We'll be in the upper 70s today. Some of us may flirt with 80, but mid to upper 70s will be more common. I've got Sevierville at 75. I've got Crossville at 74, and I've got Wartburg at 77. So generally, a little more humidity. Temperatures maybe not as warm as obviously yesterday. Yesterday we were in the mid-80s, but 80 degrees in Kingston is what I expect early or later today. Temperatures obviously starting off in the 60s. By the way, I don't know if you're aware, but every week our friends at NOAA, and I don't mean NOAA in the Ark, I'm talking about NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Oh, that NOAA, yeah, NOAA. By the way, they come out with their weekly drought monitor every Thursday morning, but they take into account all the data they have from the previous Tuesday. You might be thinking, why does it take so long? Supercomputers, they take into account soil moisture, precipitation amounts, everything that takes into account, they factor into their supercomputers, and they're able to determine where and what parts of the country are exceedingly dry when drought becomes part of the conversation. And they did add some brown areas to East Tennessee and parts of southeast Kentucky. This would include Middlesboro, that is Bell County, that includes Arthur, that includes Tazewell, at least really north of Tazewell. Those brown areas would be level 2, moderate drought. And you thought, maybe you're thinking, hey, I thought we were done with that. Well, this may actually get cut in half after the next weekend or the next 7 days, because there's a lot of rain in our forecast. But it is worth noting that we have abnormally dry conditions in Oak Ridge. We have abnormally dry conditions in Clinton, Norris, where Felicia's headed, and Fountain City. So these are the areas, even Knoxville. Technically, downtown Knoxville is a level 1. We're back into a drought? I didn't get that memo. Yeah, that memo came out yesterday morning. So technically, yes, but I'm not too concerned at this point because we're probably going to pick up 1 to 2 inches of rain this weekend. So it will help chip away at this data that came out really from last Tuesday's data. So this is really a reflection of where we were last Tuesday, not Friday, because today obviously is the 3rd of May. But you can see there are some moderate drought areas in brown from Decatur, Nyota, Athens, Riceville. They were added, Charleston, and Cleveland, Tennessee. And there are patches throughout the state, but where things get really dire in terms of water, they're lacking. Rainfall is really bad in parts of Texas, but really southern parts of New Mexico, and a few red patches there in Montana and Iowa. So that's the drought monitor. I just thought I'd put that out there. And now I'm going to show you here in the next slide the future rainfall, so it'll give you some context of where we're headed. Showers and storms today, I have at least a 40% chance. It's probably more likely a 60 or 70% chance if you're west of Knox County. But by Saturday, I think you can divide the morning from the afternoon and evening. Because I think if you're up early tomorrow, it may not be doing much. Few showers. I got a 40% in the morning, 80% chance of some downpours developing in Saturday afternoon, evening, and then showers return on Sunday to the tune of about a 40% chance. And again, the data will depend on where these storms actually take up residence. The future rainfall shows what we're going to see probably between now and 5 o'clock. And if you look at Greenville, you might be there, I didn't get any rain. You said it was going to rain today. I got a 40% chance. There's a far greater chance of rain if you're west of I-75. And you can see that reflected from the amounts. Tellico Plains may exceed 1/3 of an inch by 5 o'clock today. Jamestown, Crossville may pick up more than or around a 1/4 inch of rain. Compare that to Knoxville, maybe just a 1/10 of an inch, 600ths would suggest here, and much less around places like Jonesville, Middlesboro. But once we go into Saturday, a lot of this will start to fill in. This is Saturday morning, and this is a cumulative or total amount through the time frame of May the 4th. Then we head into 7 o'clock in the evening. Many of us have picked up well over a 1/2 inch west of town, west of Knoxville, and finishing the weekend, maybe closing in on 1.5 inches or more in parts of Tellico Plains. Obviously, there will be some locally heavier amounts, but I'm not expecting flooding. I'm not even expecting severe weather. You might say it's just beneficial rain. Some will say it's not good, Dave, because it's on the weekend. I get that. If we had our druthers, we'd have it when we want it, but we're going to get it Monday too. It's going to continue. This is just for the next couple of days to keep an eye on out down the road. But I want to say good morning to you if you're on the call. I'm looking at other notes. Wanda says, I got your premium app to see how the summer will be. Hoping it's not too hot, she says. I got some good information there. Felicia says Bigfoot Festival in Townsend. Oh, in Mary Morgan. Good morning, Mary. She says, good morning, David. Glad to have her here. And I'm on YouTube as well. Be the first to leave me a comment. I'll do my best to prepare. Now, I want to give a shout out to Mother's Day. And speaking of mothers, my mother, I know Mother's Day is the 12th. It's never too early to talk about mother. But my mother gave me a present. I got a present. I got a package. She sent me this T-shirt, and I said, I got to share this with the live stream. Take a look at this. Is this not the coolest T-shirt? I'm going to be wearing this very proudly. It says total solar eclipse twice in a lifetime, because we had that total solar eclipse back on the 8th of April last month, and I was present. I did witness the one on the 21st of August, 2017, and you'll notice the crisscross. It's like where X marks the spot. Looks like it's southeast Missouri. Folks there didn't even have to leave their home, perhaps, for 2 total solar eclipses in a span of 7 years. But this thing was spectacular. I love the fact that I got a T-shirt. So thank you, Mom. I'll publicly thank her. And don't forget you, because you've got a mom that might need to be thanked publicly or taken out to lunch. But will it be as warm as it has been recently? The answer is no. In fact, this cold spell, we like to call Blackberry winter, will be coming back into play. Maybe not by the 7th, maybe not by the 9th, but by the time we hit the 10th, you'll start to see this start to ooze down in blue. The colder air will start to intrude, and we'll find unusually cool air, not only for the 11th, but also Sunday the 12th, which is Mother's Day. That blue goes all the way to Atlanta. And some colder air around the Great Lakes where snow may actually reappear in some parts of the Northeast and toward New England. So some cooler air will come back. It will not stay constant. Snow potential, I know it's kind of a gee whiz, but how can you get tornadoes if you don't have a clash between cold and warm air? And that meeting of the minds, the meeting of the air masses in the Midwest will continue, while they may pick up snow in feet from Denver to Montana to Idaho, to Utah. I mean, my goodness. May, snowstorms in May will continue, it would appear, out west while we continue on into the month of this month. And we like to call this the Blackberry winter when it does turn cool in East Tennessee because of the little 6 winters we like to call here in East Tennessee. By the way, it's currently 67 at the airport. It is 6:55. My goal is to be done here in 5 minutes, and I got a lot to cover with the severe storm threat around the country that may affect some loved ones to you. But by the way, it's 67. We have a 7-mile-an-hour wind out of the west, and we got 87% relative humidity. If you're on the call, leave me a comment. I see Esther Atkins. She's on here. She says, good morning, David, from Washburn. She's at 61 degrees. Hello, Esther. Glad to have you here. She says, have a great day. Glad to have Esther and love to get these little weather updates from you. So I know somebody's out there listening, out there watching. We are expecting highs in the mid to upper 70s today. If we flirt with 80, might take us till 6 o'clock to get there. Partly sunny, if not mostly cloudy, with at least a 40% chance of showers and storms. It'll be a little more skewed west of town. Precipitation chances are not 0 today, tomorrow, and the next day. All week long, I've got this either 40, 80, or 60, which means if you bought an umbrella recently, you'll get some good use out of it. You will get some mileage out of your umbrella. Storm Prediction Center highlighting some yellow areas, the scattered severe storms. Those 2 hot spots today would include parts of Texas and specifically St. Angelo or Abilene and Lubbock. There's also a hot spot in parts of Nebraska and Kansas for some scattered severe storms, but that will be out there. We have the risk for some general thunderstorms, but nothing of the severe variety. By Saturday, it looks like this. Another hot spot there in Lubbock and Midland, while much of Oklahoma and parts of Texas, Arkansas may include some isolated severe storms on Saturday. Not expecting it here. We've been blessed in that regard. Severe weather has not been on the menu, and it will not be this upcoming weekend because on Sunday, any severe weather may be confined by the darker green areas in Dallas or perhaps into Austin. This comes by way of our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. And these maps, by the way, can be found on the Captain Accurate Weather app. I didn't know if you knew that, but you can actually access where these risks or severe risk concerns are and where they might be if you're traveling anytime this spring or summer. I do want to mention by Monday, the severe risk is actually growing and the colors change because it's day 4. That changes the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. They consider day 4 as longer range because they are highly specific. But the areas for 30% chance of severe weather would be in Kansas and parts of Oklahoma and Nebraska. If Oklahoma and Nebraska and Kansas haven't had enough tornadoes, there's been over 250 just in the last week. They're going to continue to see that on Monday. Tuesday, it looks like this. And on Wednesday, it doesn't look all much better. In fact, there's still a hot spot for Dallas, maybe into places near Little Rock for severe weather, but just not here. So we want to make you aware that severe weather is going to continue to be in the news, but it's not going to necessarily be here. Let me show you the futurecast. It's now 6:58. Notice this is round 1 of the rain. Watch where it goes. Does it get better or worse? Looks like it's way better at noon. See what I mean? So the rain disappears.